Got some new Elon Musk news to share with you guys. And of course, it doesn't paint him in a very good light. So this is in the New York Times. Twitter says it has sued nonprofit that tracks hate speech. The Center for Countering Digital Hate said it had received a letter from X, Twitter's parent company, accusing it of trying to hurt the social platform with its research. Elon Musk has, over the last year, threatened legal action against tech competitors, employees, and people who use Twitter, which he owns. Now he is also taking aim at an organization that studies hate speech and misinformation on social media. X Corp, the parent company of the social media company, sent a letter on July 20th to the Center for Countering Digital Hate, a nonprofit that conducts research on social media, accusing the organization of making a series of troubling and baseless claims that appear calculated to harm Twitter generally and its digital advertising business specifically, and threatening to sue. The letter cited research published by the Center for Countering Digital Hate in June, examining hate speech on Twitter, which Mr. Musk has renamed X.com. The research consisted of 8 papers, including one that found that Twitter had taken no action against 99% of the 100 Twitter Blue accounts the center reported for tweeting hate. The letter called the research false, misleading, or both, and said the organization had used improper methodology. The letter added that the center was funded by Twitter's competitors or foreign governments in support of an ulterior agenda. Ahmed, the chief executive of the Center for Countering Digital Hate, said Elon Musk's actions represent a brazen attempt to silence honest criticism and independent research. He added that Mr. Musk wanted to stem the tide of negative stories and rebuild his relationship with advertisers. The center also said it did not accept any funding from tech companies, governments, or their affiliates. In a blog post Monday evening, X announced that it had filed a lawsuit against the Center for Countering Digital Hate for actively working to prevent free expression. The suit was filed in federal court in the Northern District of California. See, this is the part that triggered me the most. So Musk claims we're suing them because they're actively trying to prevent free expression. My brother in Christ, you are literally right now trying to prevent free expression. Look, if you don't like the reports, if you don't like the conclusion of the reports, you don't like the accounts that they list saying they're hateful, you disagree. You think, no, I don't think they're hateful. Okay, ignore the report. Do nothing. Now, I haven't gone through the report, so I don't know who I agree with on that front. Are they overreaching when they say this person's hateful? Or are they accurate when they're saying this person or that person is hateful? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that because honestly, it's irrelevant to the broader point of the story. The point is, if you don't agree with the independent research, then just say, I don't agree, or say nothing, and then stay the course. But you're suing them to what? Try to stop them from releasing their independent reports? So in other words, you are trying to shut down their free speech. You're trying to shut down their ability to speak their mind. Elon, I got news for you. People are allowed to say, hey, I disagree with how you're running the platform. Hey, I think you're being too lenient when it comes to certain kinds of speech. Hey, I would do this differently. I would do that differently. I'm going to issue a report that says X, Y, or Z. People are allowed to do that. Of course they're allowed to do that. That's like free speech 101. It's like if somebody went in my comment section and started calling me a piece of garbage and listing all the reasons they think I'm a piece of garbage. I might not like that. But the way to respond to that is to ignore it, don't read it, but get it out of mind. You don't have to do anything. If I were to go in there and try to sue them or try to take down their comment, now on YouTube, you're allowed to take down their comment, but I think that would be crossing a line because that would be me taking away somebody else's free expression. If I'm allowed to come on here every day and run my mouth for the world to see on video, people aren't allowed to respond to me? They're not allowed to say, hey, I don't agree on this, Kyle, or I don't agree on that, or here's where I think you're wrong, or here's where I think you're egregiously wrong. They're not allowed to do that. Of course they're allowed to do that. I can't turn around and say, because you're criticizing me, you are trying to take away my free expression. No, I would be trying to take away yours if I'm suing the person who wrote the comment or banning the comment. Guys, this is elementary level shit. I mean, this is like obvious stuff here. But it's free speech for me, but not for thee. This is his approach. We know this. He talked a big game about, oh, I'm going to bring back free speech, bro. That's what I'm going to do. And then remember when he deplatformed like a dozen journalists in one night? Why? Because they were covering the fight he was having with the Elon Jet account. This account would track Elon's jet. And look, it's publicly available information. You might like that, you might not like that, but it is publicly available information. And Elon himself had previously said, I don't like that this guy's tracking me, But it is free expression. It is perfectly allowed. And then at some point, he flipped on it, and he said, oh, I was threatened or something like that. And so he bans the account. No explanation, bans the account. And then all the journalists who reported on the fight that Elon was having with the Jet account, they all got banned for linking to dead links on Twitter of the Elon Jet account. He goes, you're doxing me. You're all doxing me. So he flips on this like this. He flips on it like that. It's honestly really embarrassing. You can't, look, if he came in and never talked a big game about free speech, that'd be a different question. But he did. He came in pretending like that was his whole thing was free speech, free speech, free speech. Now, somebody does an independent report saying they agree with your moderation policies and you're going to sue them? Banning them would be too much anyway if you just kicked them off the platform. But you're going a step further and suing them? God, he's such a baby. By the way, the reason why he's doing it, just so everybody understands, he is desperate for money. We covered the story the other day. He is extorting advertisers. He's saying, look, if you don't advertise with us, then I'm not going to protect your brand name anymore. So some schmuck could start, an account that's named after your company, tweet defamatory things or impersonate you, and I'm not going to stop it. Pay me or have your reputation ruined because I'm going to allow people to run wild on Twitter. He's trying to extort these people. He's desperate for money. He way overpaid for Twitter. And people don't like how he's running it, so all the top dollar advertisers are fleeing. And now that's why every time you scroll on Twitter, you see like ads for Cheech and Chong gummies. They continue in the article here and say, Twitter's advertising business has been struggling under the ownership of Mr. Musk, who bought the company last year. U.S. ad revenue for the 5 weeks from April 1st to the first week of May was $88 million, down 59% from a year earlier. Advertisers may have been spooked by Mr. Musk's changes to the social network, including the removal of rules of what can or can't be said on the service and more ads featuring online gambling and marijuana products. In May, Mr. Musk hired Linda Yaccarino. I think she's just like the fall guy, the fall woman. I don't think she's in charge. She's the equivalent of Tom in Succession. Like Madsen is really in control. Tom is just a little bitch boy. That's what I think's going on here. Former top advertising executive for NBC Universal to become Twitter's chief executive. The letter was at least the third legal threat or action by X Corp in the last 2 months. In May, it sent a letter to Satya Nadella, Microsoft's chief executive, accusing the tech giant of improperly using its data. This month, it also sent a letter to Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, saying it had copied Twitter's trade secrets when creating Threads, a new social app. X also sued Watchell, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz, a leading corporate law firm, this month over what it said were unjust payments related to Mr. Musk's $44 billion acquisition of Twitter. The fact that they're suing Threads is astonishing because there's like 17 Twitter clones out there. There's so many of them. And he's not suing any of the other ones. So why are you suing Threads? I'll tell you why. Because they got like 100 million users in the first month because it's linked to Facebook, which is a giant social media platform. And so he's threatened by them. So he's suing them. Look, I don't know how much more evidence you need if you're an Elon Musk fanboy to realize he's a fraud. He's honestly stupid. I've seen enough evidence to pound the gavel a year ago. The guy's just not smart. The guy is a joke. He's a joke. If you don't agree, by all means, have at it. But just know how you look to everybody else when you're coddling his ballsack on social media. Because I see a lot of Elon Musk stands on social media. And, woo, they are a weird bunch. They are a weird bunch. So go ahead, defend this. I love free speech, but also sue the people who do reports on hate that I don't like. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.